Hey, I'm Tom.
And I'm Tanner.
Welcome to episode 170 of Bird Squawk.
They got it done. Wasn't pretty, but 1-0 is all that matters as the Birds escape New England with the win. We talked a lot the last couple of days since the game on a bunch of different things. But at the end of the day, they got it done. Came out hot. Kind of left them hang around, and then it got tight again. A big thing I brought up on Monday night was it felt a lot like that Lions game last year. A lot like that Lions game. How we started quick, then we kind of stalled, and at the end of the day, we pulled it out. And that's really what matters. I don't know, man. There was a lot of people, all circles, that wasn't looking great, but at the end of the day, like I said, they won.
Yeah, interesting point you brought up when we were rehashing some of the stuff was good teams find a way to win games like that. Right?
Exactly.
Wasn't pretty. It was started off nice. They went down the field. First series, I thought, wow, man, they're clicking, little dink and dunks.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just went sideways. It never really felt like Jalen was comfortable. I felt like he was running in quicksand. It got scary, very scary, and hopefully, tomorrow night we're down there and they show up tomorrow night and show us what they got.
Yeah, I agree 100%, and people are already wanting to call for Desai's head, whatever. But at the end of the day, that game was not on the defense. At the end of the day, they put up points. They made stops when they needed to. I know a lot of people didn't think they had a lot of pressure, but they were so close so many times from getting to that guy. I know the numbers aren't going to show that, but if you watch the game, they really were close to getting Mac Jones a couple of times.
Yeah, I feel like Mac Jones, they really emphasized, like, you got
2 seconds.
2 seconds.
Like, you got to get rid of the ball. Yeah.
Because he was just getting rid of it quick.
Exactly. And obviously early on that cost him with some of the tip balls and Slay with the pick six. But, the defense, was I necessarily fully impressed? No. But I think at the end of the day, I don't know what a lot of people expected from the guy. It's week one, first off. And then it's the same scheme, same players. See how he handles different situations. He definitely blitzed a little more. But overall, the play was pretty similar at the way they lined up, corners, safeties, rotations.
I felt like the defense, the line, just wasn't getting there. But really, the offense was vanilla.
Exactly, right? The offense was the big.
It just
big
looked
concern.
like, what is this offense? Come on. Weren't taking any shots down the field. The runs that Jalen had were like for a yard and he'd go down.
Mm-hmm.
Now don't get me wrong, the weather was bad.
Yeah, that first
but
half
the
was
weather
ugly
was bad for both teams,
yeah.
Right? And they looked like they knew what they were doing. A lot of talk of Belichick all off-season scheming for us.
Yeah.
So I do believe early on he had some stuff that we weren't even looking at or even thinking about. But like I said, for all the ugliness, we snuck out of there with a victory, and that's what matters.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what matters. Defense did what they did. Offense did enough. They had Elliott kick some deep balls, and he came through. That's the main thing. Having a guy that can... I know he missed the extra point, and that if he doesn't miss that extra point, it's not as much of a sweat. But he came up big, late, with some big, long kicks, 50-yarder pluses.
Yeah, at the end of the day, with some guys I've golfed with, there's no picture on the scorecard, right? So it's just the score.
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter how we did it, we did it.
Exactly. So now you go to the short week. We got the game tomorrow against the Vikings. They're coming off a loss against a bad Buccaneers team, or at least looks bad, and we have them in a couple weeks, so we'll see ourselves.
And they were at home.
At home,
the
too.
Vikings were at home.
It was a
Buccaneers.
lackluster game, without a doubt. But we all kind of know the ticking time bomb that is Justin Jefferson, and we had this conversation last year. Same spot. Primetime game, week 2, and you got a guy coming in, and I would assume they're going to do very similar
Yeah,
way
I-
defending. I think they're going to have Slay on him
Yeah,
and kind of zone around.
I kind of believe that Slay is just going to shadow him.
Yeah.
They don't like to do a lot of that, but last year they did it in this game.
With great success.
I think they're going to do it again. Slay is going to be on him all night.
And then the issue is you're going to be missing some guys early. And I mean, I'm not going to say, okay, week 1, it's already injury prone. It's one of those seasons. I'm not going to say that. I mean, Nakobe Dean, unfortunate. 4 weeks, though, you can kind of try and manage that. You're trying to get more bodies. They signed Rashad Evans, elevated Moreau, or one of the two. But you're going to miss Kenny G, but a lot of people were calling for Swift, calling for Penny. He's going to probably be activated this week. You're going to get pretty much a Swift game. So anyone calling for Swift thinking he's going to get more, or should have got more touches on Sunday, well, he's going to get more touches tomorrow, and he's going to get a chance to show what he's got. So that
I like it.
I'm not necessarily super concerned about Kenny G. Seems like short week, couldn't get back.
Just the ribs.
Same thing goes for Reed Blankenship. He's out with ribs. That is a little more of a concern. I don't know what they're going to do with that. I don't know if they're going to give Sidney Brown the chance. I think the kid's really good, but I think the threat or the concern with him is he is a kid that is going to go try and make a play. And we know how much this defense doesn't like giving up that big play, so that he might be one of the contributors to that happening.
I don't really think they have many options.
Well,
right?
I don't
So
know if they put Edmonds
I
think he's going to play for sure. I just don't know if he's going to be their starter.
On the field.
I
think
agree
he's
too.
Starting. And then the other one is Job or Ricks or whoever.
Yeah, it's going to be Job.
You know, because
It's Job.
Bradbury's out.
Yep, with a concussion.
You know, so-
Like, the thing is, a lot of these are just...
They just got nicked.
Yeah,
right?
and it's
They got
because of the
nicked
short
out,
week.
Right?
It's the short week,
Yeah.
not being able to get back that full week.
We had a regular week.
Like, I
they'd probably be
expect
playing.
Bradbury, Reed, Gainwell all to be back next week. And
Yeah.
obviously that doesn't help us this week.
Right. Right.
Fletch is questionable, but I would say he probably suits up. But obviously those are guys that on a paper look like that's a big thing. Gainwell, I'm not too concerned about. Bradbury, corner is always a little concerning. I mean, we have depth at corner, which is good, but corner is always one of those that you don't want to mess around with because they pick on bad corners. It can be easily done. But Josh Jobe, I think, has a great chance to show what he can do.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
the
mostly
dude
gonna
went
be-
the dude went to Alabama,
Yeah.
right? I mean, is Addison? He went to USC. I mean, come on. Nelly went to USC. The only guy that scares me is Justin Jefferson.
Of course. And I mean that's their offense. You know what I mean? That's their offense.
You know,
They're still probably not going to be able to run. That's not a concern.
no,
Jordan Davis looked great. Jalen Carter looked great.
beast.
Like I said, I
Beast.
think they were getting pressure. They just weren't getting the needed pressure. I expect them to get back in the saddle, keep going, get more pressure this week.
Yeah, and I mean, we got another statue guy back there tomorrow night, right? So I expect we get a couple sacks tomorrow night.
If you get him early, he's rattled. He's not a primetime guy. We all know that kind of thought process with Kirk Cousins, his
what's out
history.
there, right? That's what's
Yeah,
out
so-
there. So we'll see.
I mean, the main thing is you're coming home, you got that energy, you have the link going to be rocking, and you know that it's always a benefit for this team, without a doubt. And yeah, I mean, I feel good. I know the Vikings, it's kind of like, at home, you feel pretty good about them, but they're always like there. I do expect
Right.
them to take a step back this year from where they were last year. I don't think they're as good of a team, but they're not a team to overlook, without a
Right.
doubt. That they
Right.
can easily put up a bunch of points on your head and you behind.
Right.
But the main concern to me is getting the offense going tomorrow. Get that right. I mean,
definitely.
it should be a beautiful night down at the link.
Yeah, it's gonna be gorgeous, baby.
Get people
That link's
involved.
Gonna be crazy.
Draws things up a little nicer. I get first week with coordinators, first season. And I can tell you, you can tell me all you want. I was the one saying all preseason that these guys should have played. And
Yeah,
everyone is like, no, injuries.
I'm with you.
Now they should have played.
I think tomorrow
You
night.
need at
though,
least something.
I think tomorrow night they got to come out. They got to establish the run.
Yes.
They got to take some shots downfield, and we got to get Goddard involved.
Without a
Right.
doubt. And the thing is, Goddard was open. Jalen was just missing guys. The main thing is getting Jalen right, because he was definitely not himself. He was off on Sunday, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the fumble, uncharacteristic.
Just didn't seem like he was getting to his second, third read at all. He was locking in on guys. It felt like.
It felt like that 100% too. I said something to him, like when they were coming back last year, once it got close, you knew they were coming out. This offensive group was coming out and putting a drive together and scoring, because that was the team they were last year. They got it done.
Yeah.
And on Sunday, I wasn't feeling that at all, and obviously they didn't do that.
Right.
But like I said, it's not panic button. It's week 1. I know this is where a lot of, like, you can see all you want. You can be sitting, if you're watching panicking, just take a step back. Think exactly a year ago today.
Yeah, I mean,
how much the panic was in some people after that Lions game and where that thing went.
We did have some panic.
Take a step back, take a breather. I got faith in this team at home to handle business on a short week. Get healthy. Head, I don't even know who's week 3. It's kind of crazy. It's all a blur. I think
week 3's the Commanders, isn't it?
I believe it is the Commies.
Yeah.
But we'll worry about that next week. But hey, man, 1-0. That's all that matters. And next week we'll be talking 2-0.
If you see us down there tomorrow night, reach out, say hi.
Of course.
We're always approachable.
Of course.
Hey, we love it. We will be there, Section 115. We will be in the house.
Without a doubt, baby. And I'm feeling good. We'll be down there. We'll be back, as always, next Wednesday, hopefully talking about a 2-0 Birds team and a back-in-the-right-direction win against the Vikings. But as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at birds_squawk. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Go Birds.